Hey there, this is Brian. I run turfmechanic.com and the Turf Mechanic YouTube channel. And today I am going to be giving you my first impressions of the Toro 60 volt recycler battery powered mower. I have owned this lawnmower for one day and I have used it one time. This is not a full review. This is literally just first impressions. So let's get to it. First impressions. Most battery mowers these days have a single lever to raise and lower all four wheels at once. This mower, however, has a 4-point system. So to raise and lower it, you have to manually go to each one and do it. That can be a little bit annoying if you're going back and forth from different settings, but it can also be kind of nice because you can put the front higher than the back, or you could put the back higher than the front if you'd like. Some people like changing the height of the front versus back depending on if you're mulching or bagging. I don't almost ever bag, so I haven't experimented with that yet. I'm sure I will at some point. Here's another thing. The battery compartment door is flimsy to me. I think that's flimsy. I think that might break just depending on how it feels. Sure, the battery might last 5 years and the mower might work for 5 years, but I find it hard to believe that I won't accidentally break that. I do like the battery has this cool little handle. Let me see if I can, there we go, it's got this handle here. So when you go and push the button, you just pull up on the handle, put that thing back down. You've got your indicator here. It's got 4 lights. I've got another mower that only has 3 lights. I don't really like that. And another mower that I have, the battery has 5 lights. So it's basically just different increments. I do like more lights than less. It gives you a better indication of how much battery you've used and how much is left. 4 is pretty average. This is also the only battery mower that I have fiddled with that has a garden hose clean out system. I glanced through the manual. I haven't used it yet since I've only owned the mower for a day, but the manual says you can put that hose onto there and then you run the blades. So you basically turn it on and run it until it's sufficiently clean. That is interesting to me because some battery mowers say that you are not supposed to spray them down with water. So that leads me to believe that this mower is probably a little bit more water resistant than some of its competitors. This is another thing. The handle itself, let me zoom out here. The handle itself does not have a bend right here. Lots of lawnmowers have bends right there. This one is just, it's just a straight shaft all the way up. So you bend it here at the bottom. You can change the, for shorter people. You can bring it up for other people. Here, let me set that down. And then to fold it up, you just do that, and it goes all the way down. And of course, let's see here, you lock it into place, and then it should store upright just fine. So it's not as easy as, say for instance, the Ego system, but still pretty darn easy. Also notice under here, this is the stock blade that comes with it. The stock blade is this little sawtooth mulching blade. It looks actually pretty similar to the Ego's sawtooth tri-cut blade that they use. I've got a video where I talk about their 2 different blades and their crisscross blade system in the select cut as part of their 2020 generation of mowers. This one just comes with the one. I do find this also different. The connector down here is like a standard, like totally normal connection. So lots of battery mowers kind of have like this weird, large, plasticky thing, and it connects at multiple points to it, and you can take it off supposedly without your socket set. This looks a lot like a regular lawnmower underneath. So basically, in many ways of looking at this, this does not appear to be a battery powered mower if you don't look closely at, you know, the battery chamber. One other very different feature from this mower and some of the other battery powered mowers that I own and have reviewed is the mulching system. So you can side discharge if you attach the doohickey there. You can bag if you put the bagger in there, but see that mulch plug? It doesn't come out like most mowers have. You grab this and push it down, and it's like a little trap door there, and it just opens up. That is really slick. It's just one piece that you don't have to you know, worry about losing or taking in and out, setting it down. It's just a little trap door. I really like that a lot. The ignition switch, the little safety, it pops out. So at this point, there's no way to start the lawnmower. So if you want to keep it safe from like kids or whatnot, you just take the switch out, store it somewhere, and it just goes right back in. Starting it is as simple as, you know, as any other. You push the button in on that switch and then pull the lever back. Here, let me set that up. That's pretty easy to do, as you'd expect. I have run this lawnmower one time, and my first impression, and I should preface this with, I have only used this Toro recycler. I haven't even used one of their gas models. I've never used the Toro personal pace system. So basically, it's a self-propelled system that drives the lawnmower at the pace that you are walking, based on the tension of your arms or putting on the handlebar. That sounds awesome, and I really thought it was awesome. And I know lots of bloggers and YouTubers out there just love this personal pace thing. Some of those big names out there, Alan Hain and whatnot, always talking about the personal pace. This is my first time using it, and I found it to be very clunky. I don't know, that's just my opinion. What I mean here. Basically, as you're mowing, when you're walking forward, you push this and it starts moving. But the problem isn't in moving. The problem is that when you get to the end of your row and you need to stop and turn, you push down on this to turn it, and as you're pushing down to turn the thing, this is going in, so it wants to start engaging. Lots of times when I would get to the end of the row, I'd try to turn it, and instead of turning it, well, while I was turning it, I was also pushing this down, even though I didn't want to be. So it was moving forward while I was trying to turn, almost like I was losing control of it. Of course, that got me thinking, all right, well, that personal pace might be pretty good for long stretches down here behind those trees. There's a huge area down there that I cut down every couple weeks or so. That might be nice, but then I thought, well, let's just use it without the personal pace. In some of these tight corners, I mean, my fence line isn't straight. And in small places where I'm going back and forth a lot and turning a lot, I thought it might be nice to just not use the personal pace. There's not a way to do it. I don't know how you would do it. I looked through the manual to see if there's an override or some way of using this lawnmower without using self-propulsion, and I just don't see a way to do it. Every other self-propelled lawn I have or I have used, you have the option of using the self-propelled, or, excuse me, with the wind, or you can just use it as a push. And I like that option, and you don't get that with this recycler. So, if you're anything like me, that is actually a turnoff. Now, most people don't have 6 lawnmowers in their garage to choose from on any given day, but I do. And when I am cutting this lawn with lots of turns and yard toys, and I've got kids and there's playground stuff, I don't want to use the self-propelled all the time. So I don't think I would grab this lawnmower very often to use it. I don't know. That's just my first impression, though. In the coming days, I'm going to use this a lot more, despite my reservations on that personal pace. And then I'm going to go and put it side by side. I might do a full review and post it here on Turf Mechanics YouTube channel. I'm absolutely going to be doing some head-to-head comparisons of this lawnmower to some of the other high-end cordless mowers out there. Currently, I'm doing lots of testing and reviews on Greenworks 80 volt. I've got the new Select Cut by Ego, which is a 56 volt. It's a beast of a machine. In a few weeks, I'm going to be putting out some videos on the Yard Force 120 volt system. That one I'm really excited to give it a try. Should be, you know, the numbers tell me that it's going to be the strongest mower out there. We'll see how it runs. This is a 60 volt machine, and it should be one of the strongest mowers in the battery mower market. So I've got a really